Why the decision to move forward?
We're ready for trial. Judge Dugan did nothing wrong, and appealing this decision would just add months, years to this process. We've been preparing for trial for months. We're ready to try the case. Judge Dugan's ready to try the case. She wants her day in court. And we're ready to establish the truth, which is that she did nothing wrong, and that she's innocent of all these charges.
In the video that was released, the body cam video, where she talked about doing nothing wrong, and your arguments in court that she has judicial immunity, are those two different arguments, or can both be true in what you plan to argue?
Yeah, so I think it's really important that to put the judge's decision in context, that on a motion to dismiss, basically all of the things that the government alleges are taken as being true. So Judge Adelman was not making any decision or finding that Judge Dugan did anything wrong. What he was saying is that basically, as established in their indictment, they allege enough to let the case go forward. So really, what we're having is a trial. A trial is where a jury decides the facts, and we think that the facts are on our side, and will establish that Judge Dugan did nothing wrong.
Jason, how hard is it going to be to pick a jury for the case that's gotten this much?
I think it's going to be hard. I think that's why we asked the judge to have some extra time. So we have 2 days basically blocked out. All we want is jurors who can be fair and have an open mind and don't come in with any preconceived notions about the case. And really what we want and what everybody wants is a fair trial in this case. And it's made harder because everyone probably has some opinions coming in. But what we want is people who can listen to all of the facts, because we believe that when all of the facts are laid out there, that it will clearly establish that Judge Dugan did nothing wrong and that she's innocent.
What's the difference between the questionnaire you're proposing and the questionnaire the prosecution's proposing?
So we don't want anyone to go out and do any further research. So the questionnaire that we're asking for just doesn't have any reference to this particular case. The other issue that the government has with their questionnaire is they don't want us asking about political beliefs, which how can you not ask about political beliefs in a case like this that is so politically charged?
Why ask about people's water bottle stickers?
It's all getting to political beliefs. I mean, it's really not about water bottle stickers. It's about what are you coming in, what lens do you view the world from, and we're trying to understand that. And we're not making any assumptions about people based on those things, but what we're doing is we're trying to find a way to pick a jury in a fair way so that the judge can have a fair trial and the government can have a fair trial too.
You noted that you're not foregoing the argument of immunity. How important is that to just have it at your disposal?
Yeah, I think it's really important because I think that especially using the Trump decision that recognized executive immunity, we want that issue to still be out there, but we're not appealing the case right now because we do not want to add years to this case. Judge Dugan has been out of a job for over 100 days now, and we want her to take the quickest path forward so that she can establish her innocence and that she can move forward and continue to serve the community that she has for so many years of her life.
And to that, how is your team, how is Judge Dugan preparing for trial? What will that look like over the next couple of weeks?
We've been preparing nonstop.
How?
We've been meeting, we've been going through evidence, we've been investigating the case. I mean, we are spending so much time on this case, especially because it is very important, not only to this community, but really to the nation, because this case really is an attack on the independent judiciary, and that's how we view it. And we think that we are going to be able to establish that when the facts come out, the truth is Judge Dugan did nothing wrong. She didn't treat this person any differently than anyone else in her courtroom. And that should be recognized also as being immune, because judges need that type of immunity to perform their core functions of the judiciary. And we are supposed to have separate and equal branches of government.
Jason, and in the video, there's been, in the body cam video, Milwaukee police reported of Judge Dugan, and then there's audio from the courtroom. This was alluded to by the acting U.S. attorney today. How important is that video and audio to your case and to the government's case? How do you feel like it is for you guys?
So Judge Dugan in the MPD video was very candid and open about what happened, and she was very clear that she did nothing wrong and she didn't treat this individual any differently than any other defendant. I think that's really important because it's going to come down to intent and her actions that day. And I think when all of the facts come out, it will establish that she did nothing wrong and that she's innocent.
What about in court? There was audio in court that talked
The
about
digital audio recording.
digital audio recording, which was alluded today. And there was that statement that she quote the heat, take the heat, and a couple of things that the government has come in. How significant is that in terms of establishing extemporaneously what she was thinking?
Well, I can't really talk about the audio because of the protective order, but what I'll say is that her actions that day speak louder than her words. What she did is she sent that individual out into a public hallway where there were agents waiting and he was arrested. That's all that you have to know about this case, is that the agents were waiting there, the agents arrested this person, she sent him in the public hallway. There was no intent. Given her actions, when you look at her actions, they speak much louder than any words or anything that the government is going to try to insert as far as intent.
So the most important question, how confident are you that this case will be done by Christmas?
I'm very confident.
Do you
Yes.
expect her to testify?
That's a decision that every defendant has to make in a case, and it's not something that I can say one way or the other right now.
As
When
you
do we
know,
expect her
everybody
to-
looks through stories like this through a political lens. So how will you explore that when you are questioning jurors? Will it be about who they voted for? Will it be what do they think of the current president? How do you explore one's political views?
Yeah, so the questionnaire explores those. So we're asking for a questionnaire that allows us to explore political beliefs, but we really don't think that this case at the end of the day is political, because when the facts are laid bare, it will show that the government basically rushed to indict this case and that they made the wrong choice, because Judge Dugan did nothing wrong. She is innocent of these charges, and it was a rush to judgment that got us where we are here. Now they're locked in. They have to try this case, and I think when people actually hear the facts of this case, regardless of your political beliefs, you will hear facts that establish that she is innocent. She should be found not guilty of both of these charges.
How can you say this isn't political when the FBI director posted about it, the Attorney General posted about it, Trump has been involved from the beginning?
Yeah.
How is this not a political?
I think it's a political prosecution, but our defense is not political. Our defense plays to all political beliefs. And I think that when the facts are laid bare, it will establish that she is innocent and that she did nothing wrong.
If that's the case, why are you asking people about their political views or water?
Because we have to know what lens people come in with and how hardened their views are. So what we're looking for is reasonable people on both sides of the political spectrum that can listen to the facts of the case, hear them, and judge them for themselves when they're in deliberations, and that they're not so hardened that they're going to come in and say, I don't care what the facts are. And that's what it's all about, getting a fair trial.
When can we expect Judge Dugan in court? His final pretrial or for ordeal?
Yeah, I expect that she'll probably be here for the final pretrial, but we'll see. Yeah.